Hi, welcome on my channel. Today I'm doing a spontaneous tarot reading, so only take from this reading what resonates, and let's get right into it. So straight off the bat, I must admit this is a very quite interesting read because there's lots to say, and it's very dense in the sense that we can see you have options. I don't know what those are, but there's definitely, generally speaking, something about having many options, and to the point where you might want to already make your decision with what is being kind of offered to you, and then realize that if you had just waited a little bit more and been less spontaneous or even more impulsive, you might realize that there is more behind it, and that your initial choice could have been actually something that wasn't the worst option, but that wasn't also the best option, that maybe there was a middle ground, like a middle way that you were not aware of for any kind of reason that is really kind of depending on your own story. This is a general reading. But what we get from this reading is this notion where I'm here to tell you not to hurry too much and to kind of let things just happen, because you might literally find something very suitable for you, and you want to be sure to sort of have a greater picture to be able to make the right decision. It's like, it feels that you've been through a difficult, maybe transitional period, and you've tried to let go, and you find it hard to just kind of go with the flow. And be careful, because here the little warning that goes with it is that you could be given information that are not rightfully honest, and maybe the person, you need to question where the information comes from. I think that's the main core of the message. Question where the message is coming from, because depending on whose interests are served, you might be kind of disappointed if you kind of fall into believing somebody and then realize that this person did not have your best interest at heart, and realize that maybe that wasn't it, and you invested time, you invested energy, and you thought that that was the right thing to do, and then you realize that that was the terrible thing to do, but it's kind of too late to kind of go back, and change gear, so to speak. So here the message is, take your time. There might be a very tremendous opportunity, but be sure that it's actually worth doing, and if you're willing to wait just a bit more, maybe there's something even better that will be right around the corner for you if you give it time. And the other thing is literally about being able to see things and to see beyond the veil and see beyond what people are saying, to question what they're saying, to really go deeper to see whose interests are being served. And it's terrible, but you learn in life sometimes, especially when you deal with people that are not kind of morally very adjusted, let's put it that way, that sometimes you gotta see things, and you gotta see beyond what they say, and you gotta have the kind of the spine, let's say, to actually question what's in it for you, like what's in it for me. And one might say that it's a bit selfish, but sometimes there's no other way to go around it. You gotta be sort of selfish, because people will not defend your own interest, and you're gonna have to defend it yourself. And it's very painful when you realize that people kind of don't match your level of wanting to be fair and honest, and you still gotta roll with the punches, like they say, in self-help, and you just gotta roll with it, because if you don't do what's right for you, sadly so, I think most of the time it's not the outer circumstances or people that are going to tell you, oh, do this, it's good for you, or do that, it's good for you. They're not really going to help you in there. They're just going to let you kind of do what you do, and they're not really going to be invested in you. So the message here is really to do what's right for you, and don't wait for somebody else to kind of help you out, because I feel that the help will not be that needed. You will find you have the resources, and you don't really need anyone to tell you what to do. You just have to start learning yourself. This is kind of the main message that's coming through. And once you kind of know who you are and you know where you stand, making decisions is going to be easy, and you're going to be rewarded, so to speak, by putting up kind of standing up rather for yourself and not letting people dictate your own turn of events, if you see what I mean. So I don't know if this pertains to love or to work, or to a project, or something that implies maybe working with a friend or working with a loved one, or having to deal with this family situation that could be a bit tricky. But you really got to do what's best for you. And I know that sounds so silly and simple and kind of simplistic, but sometimes we ought to be remembered that it's the simplest things that have to be taken care of. And sometimes people don't have the best interest, like don't have our interests at heart, and we shouldn't blame them for we shouldn't blame them for it or be resentful. We should just accept that it's human nature, and some people are not always all roses and peaches, and they're there to teach us how to stand up for ourselves in the world more than for anything else. They're just like, it's a passage, it's a kind of rite of passage, like they're there to show you what to do or what is not worth investing, and you make your own decisions, and you end up putting the boundaries that need to be put. And it's all about finding what fits and what floats your boat. Do you say that? Or I think that, that's the term, like what floats your boat, and not look for much outside of yourself. Like just try to do you and kind of do what's good for you, and don't expect much from people, especially if you kind of know that they're not really trustworthy and that they might kind of not really understand where you're coming from and what you do. It's just like, do your own thing and roll with it. So it's a kind of, I don't know, it's not a super nice message, it's not a terrible message. I would say that it's just a sort of kind of, even I would dare to say, kind of rite of passage, like, honey, kind of listen to yourself, and if you see red flags everywhere, and if it doesn't seem good, if it really doesn't seem right, kind of listen to yourself. Like, it doesn't feel right, don't force it. If it's something just feels awkward and weird, there's a reason for it. So yeah, it's all about kind of knowing where you stand, doing what's right for you, and not letting people kind of walk over your own boundaries. And you got to be really straightforward about what you want. And the interesting thing is that there might be a lot also of sort of, kind of things going on unconsciously, instinctually, where you go for something or you choose certain people and you wonder why you choose them, but because there's a lesson to learn from it. And as soon as you will be really fully ready to embrace what the lesson is and to put boundaries maybe, and to change something that is perhaps also something that can be found in your family, a sort of family dynamic that sucks, I think things will change for the better, and you will reap the greatest reward, which is being able to do exactly what you want and not have people kind of mess with you. So I feel that it's an interesting reading. It's a very interesting way to approach life, with a kind of less binary sort of experience, where you're like, okay, I see what's in for them, I see what's in for me. Like, I question what I want, I question what works and what doesn't, and I adjust accordingly. So it's a great message of attunement. Attunement is the key word here. Well, I hope that was out of service, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care of yourself and see you soon.